Hello everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Dominions4, Thrones of Ascension. It is late spring, and we are in full swing of our invasion of the Eastern Realms. So, let's not waste any time and get straight into going through the messages this turn. So, we did a lot of site searching, so let's take a look through that. Two new magic sites in Runia from Dark Knowledge. Now I knew there were going to be some death sites here, but two sites. Now that may be very, very good. We have Graveyard of the Damned, 2 death gems per turn, and Well of Pestilence. Spreads deadly diseases, increases death, and boosts the death ritual range by 2 provinces. Now, I could make use of that. The disease would not affect undead wizards, and the only way I can create, well, replenishable undead wizards, well, is by summoning them. And that is pretty much my only way of getting undead mages, is by summoning. So, I'm going to give the first Skull Staff over to Mordeith here, the Revenant. And it is going to head over to Runia and build a lab here. And I will use this as a province to focus my death magic. Right, so yes, back on with the messages. Very, very good find. I'm now going to properly be able to start using my death magic. Actually, I'll just, yes, I have 7 death gems per month as well now. And we've only just started, that was the first Dark Knowledge that I cast. It's just I was sure I was going to find some death sites there. So yes, we will need to search the rest of the kingdom for death sites. Now we can make a proper leap into death magic and start incorporating that into our armies. A proclamation from Farwald. Alfred, the Master Lancer, shall hereby be known as the Prophet of Manannan. Now, I don't actually know how long Farwald will last, so, yes. Maybe your last prophet, Farwald. Captured some slaves. Some blood slaves. We have no unrest in Duvan. No unrest in Syria, so these ones can actually begin blood hunting again. Let's just quickly grab the mage here. Give him a lightless lantern. Just need to keep remember to do that. Orgias can be set here to cast Gnome Law. Yes, do that. These 2 mages need to move to X both here. Oh yes, we'll come back to that. Right. Read messages, let's see. In Saltnoham, too much unrest. They need to stop. 10 unrest in Eponia, I think that's fine. Ophalef, Now, we did blood hunt here a few turns ago. I'll put that back in the lab for now. I will probably end up using this these mages a bit differently. So, we shall see in a moment. We can carry on blood hunting there. Mexico, 0 unrest. We can return to blood hunting in Mexico, which is very good. Good, that should be all my blood hunting sites looked over. An unexpected event has occurred in Menace. A witch was caught. Another witch. More bad omens, misfortune here. Not good. Not good at all. Deepwagor, priest of the faith, has been preaching and warning people of the end of the world. People are frightened and come to the temples to seek comfort. Faith has increased and much wealth has been donated to the temple. 10 unrest, 1 dominion, and 249 gold. I think this event is probably better than it is worse, really. I do have very high dominion here now. So my dominion is going to be solidified in the underground, which is very useful. An unexpected event has occurred in Valadun. A peddler was peddling his wares in the province, and one of your agents discovered a few magic gems of various types among his glass pearls and buttons. And of course, we purchased them at the price God intended. Solve intended for all of these gems to be purchased for 1 gold. And I am pleased with that result. Now, as soon as I moved my scout into Muspel, he was actually killed, so yes, Modi does have a rather large patrol force around their central provinces, which is rather annoying. Right, let's go over the battles. We'll start with this one. Lunawatia decided to attack us in Exobothia, so I'm going to see how the army performed. Savage Strength. I think that's a strength buff to animals. I'm not sure. So yes, the Lunawatians' land army comprises of these Vanara monkeys. I'm just going to increase the speed. My 3 devils acting as a vanguard. I think the heavy cavalry will be able to finish this off with no problem. We managed to... Ooh, very interesting. Ah, yes, this is something to keep a note of. The secret guardians of Lunawati, the sacred archers that they field. Not only do they have this, which is why they were killing my demons at range so easily, they have the divine composite bow, which is very, very annoying. Yes, 3 times damage versus the undead and demons. Very, very, very annoying. They also turn into fire elementals when they die. And whilst the devils are resistant to fire, which is good for that particular reason, yes, we did lose a total of 8 devils to the secret guardians. And there was only 5 of them. They still managed to kill 8 devils. So it just goes to show they're quite dangerous to my devils. Very dangerous indeed. Now we did just bring a bunch of wizards carrying these terracotta soldiers. I think I do need to set them up now. And now since they are fire resistant, what I'm going to do is just basically put small boxes of 5 of them all around my devils. That way they should hopefully eat up some of the arrows for the devils, and they are pierce resistant, so yes, that should be quite good. And also they're fire resistant, so the heat aura on the devils does not matter. They should be just fine. Should just be fine. So these wizards here, I don't really have something for them to do. However, they can blood hunt. Now they're not very likely to find many slaves, but they may find enough for me to create a small Sabbath just for defensive purposes. I think what I'm going to do as well is take these cavalry. I'm going to have them hold and attack the rear from down here. That way they can keep these wizards protected. I'm going to have them lined up with my my spearmen. Yes, that should be fine. I'm going to move this force up as well. I feel the terracotta soldiers will do a decent job holding the centre. We will be reinforcing this unit as soon as I can put some more men on Celius here. Right. Back to the messages, that was Exobothia. So Lunawatia did fail on their first attack. They only sent 41 men, and we did have 150 defending, so yes, they were rather outmatched in terms of numbers, and they only have 30 men left in the desert of the Cliff Dwellers. So I imagine Lunawatia will halt its invasion for now, since we will just beat them again, and as many times as we need to. Now there was a battle in Norfangs. This was my army advancing, and it appears that Modi has come to meet us. with a fairly sizable force. So, let us do battle. There's flaming arrows. And we cast Phoenix Power. There's the flaming arrows at work. And we've even flaming javelins as well on my my Colossi Spearmen. Flaming javelins. Yeah, that's right. So I don't think the fire imps will get like stronger fiery flames. I don't think that will be the case, but what did you just... Oh, you cast... Ah, yes, Badawi cast Flogos Incantation. So all of my mages here are now... they're either Fire 2 or Fire 3 mages. Yes. Very good. They're casting Exhaustion. Yes, I want to try and exhaust some of these Ogre infantry. And after they're finished casting Exhaustion, they will try and cast Prison of Fire. I think that's what I scripted them to do. Some of them are just, yeah, some of my mages are now spamming fireballs. Excellent. These ogres are quite tough. They can actually take a fireball and survive. It may be due to the cold weather that the fire spells aren't quite as powerful, but however, my flaming arrows are quite strong indeed. Their units have flown into our ranks. I hope they don't kill any of my commanders. My wizard's preference blowing up these foul spawn flying units. We should be able to kill them in a melee though. Even my archers should have no real issue. Although it is stopping them from firing, which is quite annoying. And apparently my archers want to shoot at the closest. I did set them to fire at closest. Modi doesn't have a great number of range units. They do have enough for me to probably focus on them, but they're putting them right at the back of the battlefield. And my archers only use short bows, so they're not really long range enough to be fighting at that sort of distance. So here's some more fireballs. Just yes, we are going to sustain some casualties in this fight, but I believe we are smashing the Median armies right now. Yes, and they begin to rout. And all of my wizards cast Fuel the Fire if they haven't, if they've run out of fatigue. So yes, we should have. Yes, for example, you see the Sun Pontifex here. No fatigue, no fatigue. He will now start casting fireballs and finishing off the Median force, or helping us finish it off anyway. These terracotta soldiers are resistant to fire, so we will need to kill them in melee, probably. I'm going to put it up to speed 3, since the majority of their army is retreating. Oh dear, we are taking quite a lot of casualties on my front line. We're not very resistant to archers, to be honest, so yes, that could be one cause of it. My wizards have moved to casting Exhaustion. To try to fatigue the enemy army. They are taking quite a lot of fatigue damage. It appears as, yes, some of my elite skirmishers are retreating. They did sustain quite a lot of casualties. I believe we may have lost, probably over 50 men, perhaps even more. But I don't think we lost many archers or sacred units. I think my sacred units, archers, and even the flame imps. I think the fiery imps haven't taken those many casualties. So I think the core of the army is fine. We'll just need some more units to block the front. But we have dealt quite a blow to Modi this day. Oh yes. I believe we have killed quite a lot of their units. So, let's get a report of the battle. The battle in Northangs. We lost a total of 88 men. We lost 1 imp, 11 archers, 29 of my elite skirmisher spearmen, 17 spear warriors, 1 swordsman, 9 colossi javelins, and 20 of my sacreds. Oh, we did lose quite a few sacreds. We managed to raise the enemy's temple though, and kill 157 foul spawn. We unfortunately didn't get any of their commanders, but we did kill, yes, twice the numbers that we lost. So I'd say that was a fairly good battle, and we've conquered an important province as well. And we'll come back to that once we've seen the other fights that occurred. So the Farron Mountains, this is where I sent Solve along with the hero Hark. And Hark is, he should be up here somewhere. Ah. Yes, here he is. You can see Hark here, running along. Currently, I'm not sure who he's choosing to engage. I believe it's the enemy archer force. So he is, yes, he is sprinting across the battlefield right now. Let's see how well Hark can do. I think he'll be, unless the Devils get there first, yes. I think the Devils might just mop up the Median archers for us. Yes, these bloodlusted Devils are quite powerful. 18 strength. Yes, they should clean up any resistance left. Excellent. Yeah, so Hark didn't quite get into the battle. We lost 11 sacred units to get rid of the province defense of the castle in the Farron Mountains. Once we breach the castle, we'll be able to take the Throne of Ascension here. There was also a battle in Kunal. Now, I did leave some men behind, but I'm not sure I left enough. Ah, but they only attacked us with the mercenaries, so yes, this will actually be quite an easy battle. In fact, I believe this mercenary company is now dead. Baji, the Celestial Servant. Ah, he is not a wizard. I thought he was a wizard, but it seems that he's not. Although all these soldiers are sacred, so if you had a good bless, and they're quite beefy. If you had a strong bless, like if you had Nature 9, Earth 9, these would actually be a pretty strong mercenary company. Just for an example. But yes, we do defend Kunal against that small attack. So Norfangs will require some reinforcements, but I believe, and we will need a few more men to break into the castle here. But overall, very good. We have started to destroy the gate in the Farron Mountains, but it will take some more time to break down. However, I feel the Devils will give us a, well, I should think they would be very effective at breaking the castle walls down. So we will hold the Farron Mountains siege for now. Emilzar has begun to push back. However, I don't think they're pushing back with enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Eremas here. He's going to move into Bonelands. Now, I'm going to have both of my cavalry regiments here set to attack rear. And yes, I'm hoping that that is enough to take Bonelands. And then Farron Mountains will be, we can just leave that there and it should be fine. What I'm thinking of doing is moving the force back to Kunal for now. Yes, we're going to need another commander, which is rather annoying. Unless... No commanding items. We are going to need another commander. Let me just take a look around. My scout can move... Yes, he can move over the mountains. Can I train... No commanders there. What about Kratas? Can train commanders here. It will take 2 turns, so I'm not very fond of that. Vemos rest? Ah yes, we can train a commander here. We'll still need to give him some equipment to command units. We need to bulk the front line up, and I want to bulk it up with these spearmen with small bows, since the small bows do benefit from the flaming arrows. I could even mass recruit some colossi spearmen, which their javelins become flaming, which makes them more powerful as well. How many men could we start transporting here? A few more archers, but not many. I'm going to fill up this archer regiment as much as I can. Just try and balance these units. Now, one of these commanders here, yes, Asker Labos, he is carrying a lot of supplies for us. However, I don't think we need... No, we don't need the 170 supplies he's carrying. Not really. So he's going to move out and start picking up the men that retreated. In fact, he's going to move to Golem range. I'm going to stop recruiting I won't recruit a commander. I will simply have him pick up the units that are lying around. And yes, we're going to recruit. I feel these are the best choice for a front line. We can recruit 41 of them to bulk the force out, and I think that is a good choice indeed. And with picking up the spare units in the garrison, that's another 40 men that are lying around. So will he actually have the leadership? He should have the leadership to command those men. He should do. Right. I want to increase the province defense in Northangs. There are horse tribe cavalry, so it's more archers, and they will benefit from flaming arrows. Ah, we found another earth gem site and a copper mine, which provides gold, so I'm fine with that. More gold for the treasury. Right, so those were all the battles this turn. Those were all the battles. This siege will just continue. I don't want to move the army in the underground just yet. I believe Modi might, even if they may even attack Dryfields for us. So we'll keep an eye on that. I want all of my mages here now. Northangs may be a good place for me to place a laboratory to resupply my units, or we could move straight to siege Oak Beach. I'm not sure if that's a good idea whilst my front line is quite weak. Just to make sure I can hold all the men, I'm going to transfer them to Ergun here, these few archers. Now most of my wizards can preach, so I'll have as many men as I can preaching. The rest will be on patrol. I think I do want Badawi to build a laboratory here, so I can temporarily, for 500 gold, I think it's an important expenditure to allow me to reinforce these wizards with more gems. Fire gems in particular. Yes, I think I should do that. Ah, yes, we created a Robe of the Sea. Excellent. Robe of the Sea. I'm going to give my first Robe of the Sea to Ahmad here. I could even give him a Bloodstone as well. Not just yet. But now he has both 4 fire and 4 water magic, so he can create more of these Staffs of Elemental Mastery. You either need 4 air, 4 earth, or 4 fire and 4 water, and we have fire and water right here. So yes, Ahmad, being one of my most skilled Paramount Pontifexes, is going to be crafting some Staves of Elemental Mastery, for he has become a Master of the Elements, and can forge more to give to my other wizards. Now they are very expensive, and I can't reduce their cost by if I gave him a flaming helm, no, that wouldn't work. I still wouldn't have enough. Yes, they are just going to be very expensive to craft, unfortunately. But it's an expense I'm willing to pay, because they're very powerful magic staves. By boosting all of my elemental magic. Yes. You were forging water bracelets, weren't you? I'm sure you were. Ah yes, you forged me one of these, which I will need later. Yes, forge some water bracelets, continue with that. So Ahmad here, I am going to get him first to put the staff away. He is going to be forging, do we not have any spare dwarven hammers? We're going to need some more of them. But my earth gem income is quite low. We do need to continue to cast gnome lore. Yes. Right, well, since I don't think I'll be able to get these mages to forge too many items this turn, I could always get them to forge me some blood items. Well, in case I do want more assassins, they can have me. They can forge some black hearts. We may want to make more assassins after all. Saladar. Now that I have the ability to, well, create more death mages whenever I feel like it, Saladar's main use here now is for arcane probing. Hopefully he can find a few astral sites before he leaves my kingdom, but I don't think I'm willing to pay his rather... I mean, he really is quite extortionate. His price is like... I mean, I have to bid like 200 gold to keep him. Which is rather crazy, really. But it has enabled me to get more death magic than I thought I would ever be capable of achieving with this nation. So, yes. I will pay 200 gold for that. I will pay 200 gold for that. Now, Ahmad. What do I want you to do? I don't think I want him to do any forging. Unless I want him to forge one of those elemental staffs. Now, it wouldn't be a bad staff to give to my god, Solve, when I put him into, like, full combat casting mode. So we are going to forge another Staff of Elemental Mastery. We'll forge another one of those. I believe this priest was actually constructing some buildings. Yes. What were you forging? You were forging bloodstones, that's what you were forging. Forge another bloodstone. We're going to need more of them, they're very good. And Erasto here. What can you cast? Cast a ritual spell, perhaps. Ah, yes, you can cast a Bowl of Blood in Norfangs. Yes, you might as well do that. Might as well search Norfangs for some blood sites. We may find one, you never know. You never quite know. Now, since I have the gold, I may as well use it to train... I can train some scouts here. Repeat recruit scouts. Yes, do that. Definitely. I could recruit 4 horse tribe cavalry. They're undisciplined, so I can't mix them in with my heavy cavalry without making them undisciplined as well. So I think I will pass on that. Now, are there any mercenaries I can hire? Since we are in the middle of a war, mercenaries may make all the difference. In fact, I might want to recruit the mercenaries in Kunal just to protect it against this force in Batagne. The Dragon Tamer. I believe these are just fire drakes. They are quite cheap. In fact, they're all fairly cheap. I think I'm going to hire all of these mercenaries. I'm going to bid 100 gold on you. I'm going to bid 200 gold on you. Now, I'm not sure if these mercenaries are even worth it, but we're going to bid the gold on them anyway. This commander has 30 men, so I'm going to give him 150 gold, actually. A lot more than he's asking for. And it's probably a lot more than he's worth, but we're going to do it anyway, because we need the extra men on the front lines. Now, rather than later. So we will pay a little bit extra for that luxury. I'm gonna just bid a little bit less on this sacred serpent here, or yeah, the feathered serpent, so I can recruit 10 more sacred units in the capital. Because I keep forgetting to do that, and I need to keep my sacred units. In fact, I'm going to put them on repeat recruit. That is going to be something that we recruit. I'm going to recruit 9 sacreds every turn, and that is so I can spend the other capital slot recruiting higher level wizards if I desire, or a priest. So yes, we're going to recruit 9 sacred units in Saltnaham every turn now, so that I don't forget. Because I was doing quite well at remembering to do that during early expansion, but during early expansion is when they really mattered. Now, during the mid-game, I just want masses of units. I want masses of goblins to overwhelm our opponents. Numbers are what matter here, not quality. And although my sacreds are good and quite powerful, they're still goblins. They are still goblins. Yes, I'm going to try that. I have no more commanders that need orders, so we shall just end the turn here. I don't believe I have forgotten to do anything. I may have forgotten to move a Paramount Sun Pontifex that I just trained, since they are set to automatically research once they finish training. So I may have forgotten to do that, but never mind. We'll take a look next turn, perhaps to see if that is the case. Right. It is now early summer in Year 6 of the Ascension Wars. We will continue our invasion in the next episode. So far, we have 1 loss. We lost our lumber construct in 1 attack, but I believe we are winning the war, or at least we are winning the early battles. We still are on the offense, which means it is going to be harder for us to reinforce the army. Well, now it is in enemy lands. But we will try to ferry new units to the front line as often as possible, and given that Golem Range can produce over 40 goblins a turn, I think reinforcing those that have died shouldn't take too long. Hopefully not, anyway. So, once I've collected the men that routed and some new soldiers in Golem Range, we'll have 80 more men on the front line again, and in the time it takes to collect them, I think I can recruit another 80 goblins? So either way, our front line will be getting reinforcements. So no worries about the losses we sustained. There's only one thing left to do, and to push onward. But we will do so in the next episode. It's been me, Chaff Commander Coffee. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.